Our story begins with the arrival of two large cranes in less than ideal conditions. In just a handful of days, they will dismantle and remove the massive tower crane that has served on Queen Street for nearly 2 years. Readying the cranes themselves is the first essential task. But before they tackle the tower crane, they will lift this emergency generator onto the roof. Then, the serious assembly of the major lift crane can continue. The weather is not allowed to be a factor. Remarkably, such large and heavy objects require considerable precision in their assembly. Before too long, the block can finally be attached. The next day will be very busy, but for now, it's a moment to relax. Day 2 begins, quite correctly, with checks and inspections. Then it's time for the crane to rise to the task. The rigging crew ascend in a more traditional fashion. But what a view they get from their lofty workplace. trailers arrive, ready to remove the crane sections. The first parts removed are most of the ballast weights. Communication by radio ensures close coordination between the crew and the crane operator. With most of the ballast removed, it's time for the outer section of the latticed boom to go. Safety demands total focus on the task, but there's still time for lighter moments. The process is suspenseful in more ways than one. Patient, careful actions bring the first major section free and clear. The second of the boom sections follows quite quickly. With all the forward sections of the crane removed, it's time to take the last ballast weight down. If it's not clear already, it should be noted that work on the ground matches the focus and precision of the work aloft. The back section of the crane does not take long to leave. With the major tower crane assemblies on the ground, day 2 comes to a close. We'll launch day 3 with a time lapse showing the major crane erected. It's time for the tower peak to be removed. No matter how precisely manufactured, pins and bolts that have been in place for nearly 2 years can be reluctant to budge. But all is well if the section ends up on the ground. The control cab and turntable are next to come down. Separation from the tower is a delicate process, undertaken carefully. Then, the tower sections themselves begin to descend. Before long, the time comes to remove the braces that have held the crane securely to the building. Every action is controlled to avoid damaging the building. Some bolts benefit from persuasion, The steel collar is the next to descend. Then, the final sections of the tower are disassembled and lowered to the ground. The final task is to lower the lift crane and to break it down for transport. As we watch the ballast weights removed from the crane, we should remember how much skill and experience goes into each of these operations. And this crew performs them many, many times a year. Thanks for watching.